Let's bring in former acting Homeland Security Secretary and Executive Director of the America First Policy Institute Center for Homeland Security and Immigration, Chad Wolf. Chad, thank you for taking time. Let's just get your reaction to start here on the fact that ICE has not put out this year-end report and DHS won't release the December apprehension encounter numbers.
Well, it's an important report, and it's usually out by the end of December each and every year. And again, that report will tell you how many arrests and how many deportations occurred during 2021. And I think what you see here is the Biden administration delaying that report because they know it's going to be a bad report. The numbers are going to be at a historical low at the same time that we've had a historic high of a number of illegal apprehensions. So putting those two together, it's not going to paint a very good picture. It's going to paint a very bad picture that deportations are at an all-time low. But we know that, right? We know that because the Biden administration put a moratorium on deportations, and they've done everything they can to tell ICE not to remove individuals from this country.
Chad, we just learned this week, according to a released DHS report to Fox News, that between March and August of 2021, they essentially released about 104,000 migrants with notices to report. That is just a piece of paper that says if you want to claim asylum, go to your nearest ICE office. Only half bothered to do so. What does that tell us?
Well, it tells you that their strategy on the border is not working. It tells you that they were overwhelmed at the border during that time period, March to August, and it tells you that the system's broken. So they essentially had to go on the honor system. They asked migrants to say, wherever you go in this country, whether it's Portland, Maine or Portland, Oregon, when you show up there, please self-report to the local ICE office. And as you indicated, over 47,000 have not done so. So they're now in the interior of the country. We have no idea where they're at. And again, that's just through August. If you remember the migrants, the Haitian migrants in Del Rio, Texas, that was in September. So you can bet a number of those were released also on the NTRs. So that number, 47,000, is likely going to increase once we get the full 2021 numbers in for the entire year.
There is a whole slew of more Haitians on their way. About 2 hours ago, I tweeted out a reporter down in Tapachula, Mexico for National Latino Radio saying that the first caravan of 2022 has departed San Pedro Sula, Honduras, a trek that I made in 2019 all the way from Honduras to Eagle Pass, Texas. And it looks clearly that things are not slowing down. And as you heard from Dan Springer's report, that they could surpass 2 million this year. Is it time for the administration to shift strategy?
Well, Griff, I would say it's past time. It's been time 9 months ago for them to shift strategy. And again, if you're these migrants or you're the cartels, why not? Why not start this caravan to the southwest border? Because you know nothing has changed. You have historic numbers month after month after month. You have public safety threats, national security threats, and all sorts of other illegal narcotics coming across that border. And this administration has no strategy. When was the last initiative that they announced that was going to get tough on illegal border crossers? There has been none. They have no strategy. Nothing is in place at that border to stop this. And so you're going to continue to see these caravans and historic numbers come across that border.
Chad, as we know, it's not just humans, it's also drugs that the cartels, as you mentioned, are taking advantage of. And in fiscal year 2021, you've got seizures this year up 134% for the deadly drug fentanyl, 68% for cocaine. Is that something that should be alarming to this administration?
Well, absolutely. You've got to start addressing this. And this goes hand in hand with the number of illegal migrants coming across that border because, again, they have to pay the cartels upwards to $5,000 to $10,000 for each individual coming across that border. So those cartels are making millions of dollars a day, more than they have ever made. And, again, they can put that money back into their enterprise, smuggle more and more illegal narcotics across that border. So, yes, the administration needs to do more. This takes leadership. This takes leadership talking about the fentanyl crisis that we have, talking about the threats from the cartels and what's going on that border. But again, unfortunately, you see the President Biden or Vice President Harris or even the Secretary, no one's talking about this threat. And it's inexcusable.
Just in the 20 seconds we've got left, you mentioned leadership and Vice President Harris. They're doing a reshift in her office. Is it time for her to take a different tact on the border?
Well, unfortunately, I don't know that she's taken any tact along the border. I think she's been fairly absent. I think the whole administration needs to view the border differently. They need to understand what's going on down there. And frankly, the vice president or the president needs to make a trip to the border. They need to talk to the Border Patrol agents and other law enforcement down there so that they can get a firsthand. Sitting in D.C. doesn't cut it. You need to understand and you need to see with your own eyes the crisis that is going on down there. And perhaps then they will make a change in policy.
We got to leave it there. Always helpful and insightful talking to you, former acting DHS Secretary Chad Wolf. Chad, thank you. Anita?
All right, thanks.